Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. This is Zach over at NV Woodworks. So today we're going to be making a bottle opener, and we're going to make a resin cast handle using some really cool mesh material. So stay tuned, let's get started. So a couple years ago, I was searching around on Amazon and I stumbled upon this really cool mesh material. Now, I was kind of looking for a material like this, so it wasn't totally just random, but I found this stuff and it's awesome. It's super thin. It's got kind of a black side and a white side, and the back is sticky, which lets you kind of contort it into cool shapes and it'll stay. And then you can kind of push it down in your resin. So you get really cool blanks, and the best part about it is it's pretty cheap material. And it's super simple to cast. All you do is basically just push it into the resin and it adheres well, everything goes good, and you get some really cool looking blanks. This is the same stuff that I put in my matrix pen blanks, and a lot of people have been asking me over the years, what do you use? Where do you get that material? And I've been kind of keeping it a secret, but I thought it was about time that we, let the cat out of the bag and shared with everybody so you guys can get in the shop and start making some really cool effects and cool blanks with this mesh material. So what is this material? It is a vinyl window mesh. I don't exactly know. I guess it's kind of like a privacy thing. You can't really see through the window too well. They might print on one side. It might be what they use for the advertisements you see in windows. I have no clue really, but it works really well for casting, and that's all that I really care about. So what it is, I get it on Amazon, and I'll have a link down in the show notes where I get it. There's a couple of different ones. I like the ones that have a white front and a black background, or black back. They have some that are black on black, and if that's one way to go, but I kind of prefer having both colors because when you twist it, you get a little bit more effect. There's different colors going on with the mesh itself. So I'll have a link down in the show notes where I get the exact stuff that I get. It comes in rolls, and you can get like different lengths of it. Basically, all I do is just kind of cut it into strips. I have one of those, cutting mats with the kind of pizza wheel cutter and a straight edge, and I just cut it into strips, roll it up, and then throw it in the resin. It's pretty cool. So again, that link is down in the show notes for anybody that wants to pick it up. It's an affiliate link over on Amazon, which is cool because if you use that link, you're helping to support the show. I get a little referral bonus, but it doesn't cost you a dime. It's the same price and everything. It's just showing Amazon that you're using, my link, and I kind of referred you. So I appreciate everybody that uses the link. So a couple of little notes. What I like to do is, like I said, kind of twist it up into cool shapes, and then push it down in the resin. You get really cool effects. And I usually use it with pearl powders. I find that, personally, I kind of like adding that color and that kind of that pearliness to it. But it really kind of makes it cool if you can get it, to that kind of perfect translucent, color. I guess it's not totally transparent, and it's not, opaque. If you can get it to where like the mesh is just kind of popping through that pearl, you get some really cool effects. Now, if you're making a thicker blank, you'll want to watch how much powder you put in. If you add too much, it can kind of totally obscure it, and it doesn't really show up well. So you want that perfect kind of translucent effect. The best way to kind of judge how much powder to put in or when to stop adding it, I guess, is, when you're mixing it in the cup, if you can still see the stick through the pearl powder in the cup, then you're good to go on those larger blanks for the most part. So a little bit goes a long way, and you get some really cool effects. So what we're going to be doing is making a bottle opener today. I got the new bottle opener kits from Stainless Bottle Stoppers. These things are pretty awesome. They got two different ones. One of them is just a normal kind of, crack it open bottle opener. The other one is a no dent, like it won't mar the actual cap. So if you're, looking to save bottle caps, that one's the one to get. So big thank you to Dan over at Stainless Bottle Stoppers for hooking me up with these kits so we can kind of play with them and make a cool project out of it. So right now, let's head over to the casting area, get started with the casting. Like I said, I'm just going to kind of add some pearl powders, wait a little bit, push this down in there, and we'll get our blank ready. Then we'll go and turn it on the lathe.
tomorrow.
All right, let's see how this looks. Well, all right, guys, the blank's looking great, I think. We got that translucent effect really working on this. The pearl kind of obscures things, but the mesh pops through. So I think once we get it turned up and polished, I think it's going to look even better. So what I'm going to do is just kind of take a cut on the top, clean this thing up, square it up, and then we'll get it over on the lathe and start turning it. All right, we got the blank mounted to the Easy Chuck. I just wanted to stop real quick and say there's a link down in the show notes to this chuck. I know a lot of people always ask me about this. It's a really great chuck. It's the best one that I've found. I love how quick and easy, it's called the Easy Chuck, but I love how easy it is to switch the jaws out. So there's a link down in the show notes if you're interested or in the market for a new chuck. But the next step is we need to drill and tap threads into this blank, and that way we can mount it to the mandrel, and that's also what's going to accept the kit piece, the actual bottle opener. Now, there's a couple different ways you can actually do this. In this case, we used Alumilite resin, and I would say this goes exactly the same for epoxy. It takes threads well, so really all you got to do is drill a hole and thread it, and then you can mount it with your mandrel and do that just directly into the blank. Now, if you're using a super brittle resin, like some polyester, resin blanks are really brittle and acrylic acetate, sometimes those things don't really take threads very well. Same goes for super soft woods. In that case, you'll want to go with these threaded inserts. And then in that case, you'll just drill a 1/2 inch hole a little bit deeper than the length of this, how long this threaded insert is. Glue that in there with 5-minute epoxy, and then wait overnight, and then you're good to go, and you got the same thing. Everything will mount onto that threaded insert. Now, having said that, regardless of the material that your blank's made out of, you can just go for an insert no matter what. Especially if you don't have taps on hand, then just drill the 1/2 inch hole and glue in your insert. Now, I guess the benefit to not doing that is I can just drill and tap the hole and start turning this right away. I don't have to wait for glue to set for this. So let's get some drills on this thing, get it tapped, and let's start turning this thing up. Now for the finish, you could put on any kind of finish you like, you know, spray lacquer or a CA finish. That's the first one that comes to mind for me and what I would usually probably go with. But I'm actually going to try something new. I ran across this on the internet. It's called Craft Coat, and it's a waterborne finish, and it's kind of a little bit different than a lot of things that we usually use. I guess you can actually apply it like a friction polish, or, you know, brush it on or dip things. I don't know. I don't really know how it compares, you know, with like durability and all that. I think CA finishes are generally the most durable finish that you can put on, and they're pretty simple as long as you get it on pretty smooth. But anyway, I thought I'd try it out. I think I'm just going to kind of wipe it on. I was never really good at friction polishes with real friction polish anyway, so I just want to kind of put a medium coating on, maybe put a couple coats on, and just kind of see how this thing, this craft coat works on this. So let's get a rag and start applying it. Well, all right, I let it sit overnight, and it is looking fabulous. The finish looks pretty good. Honestly, you could just walk away and it'd be a pretty good finish as is. I think I'm going to take it over to the buffer and just see if I can get it a little bit more glossy. So let's take it off and try and buff it up even more. Wow. This thing is looking amazing. All right, let's get the bottle opener mounted on this guy and get this thing finished up. I'm pretty happy with how that craft coat finish turned out as well. It was pretty easy to put on, and it turned out pretty good, I think. So I'm definitely going to be playing with it a little bit more, but if you run across it, you might pick some up and try it out yourself. Well, all right, guys, I'm pretty stoked about this. It turned out awesome. I'm really happy with the shaping, the profile that I put on this, and I'm definitely happy with the blank. That mesh is really fun to use on blanks. And don't forget, there's a link down in the show notes of where I get it, what it is, the product on Amazon. So definitely, if you want to get in there, start casting with that mesh stuff, head over to Amazon with my link and you can pick some up. But I'm really happy with these new bottle openers from Stainless Bottle Stoppers. Thank you guys for hooking me up with these so we could make a project out of them. Don't forget, you got two different types. You got the one that's kind of flat. The nice thing, I guess, is if you want to put this, stand it up, you got that with this one. This one is the non-marring one. So, you probably have to kind of put it in a drawer instead for keeping it, but it won't dent the cap. So pretty awesome. They got a couple of different styles there. These bottle openers are a really good project, especially with the holidays coming up. They're pretty easy to knock out. They don't take that long. They're pretty fun to make, and you make a cool gift. So definitely head over to stainlessbottlestoppers.com if you want to pick up some of these kits. And I'm going to actually have some blanks for those of you who don't want to, make blanks with this, but you're interested in some blanks like this. I'm going to make one exactly like the one that we made, this one in the video, lime green and that pewter color. So I'm going to remake another one of those. And then I'm also going to do one other, I'm not sure what color combination. Actually, down in the comments, let me know what color combinations you guys think would be pretty cool with this mesh. Maybe give me some ideas and I'll make some short runs. The other thing is I have pen blanks. If you want to make a pen out of these blanks, I have a couple that I keep in stock. The Spidey Matrix, I call it, and the Toxic Lime. Toxic Lime is very similar to this. The silver's a little bit more bold. I use a different powder for that one, but it's lime green and silver with mesh. And then the Spidey Matrix is red and blue. Kind of looks like Spider-Man, especially with the white mesh in there. So got those always in stock. And then I have a special one. I made a 10-color matrix blank. There's only 3 of them. They're pen blanks, and they're up on my website under the short run section. So I'll have links to all this stuff down in the show notes. Like I said, if you want to pick up some of these blanks, I'll have them on my website. If you're going to make them, definitely let me know what you guys make. I'd love to see, tag me on Facebook or Instagram if you make some cool mesh blanks. I want to see how you guys use them. So I think that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this project. I'm really happy that I finally got to share this with you guys, and I'm excited to see what you guys make with it. So if this is your first time on my channel, we do all kinds of resin casting projects, tips and tricks, and experiments around here. So if you're interested in that, definitely hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell as well, so you get notified when new videos get posted. And if you're thinking about getting into resin casting, but you're not really sure where to begin, check out my ebook, The Beginner's Guide to Resin Casting. It answers all those beginner questions, like what kind of resin should I use? What do I need to get started? It'll get you over that kind of initial learning curve so you can get in the shop and start making some blanks of your own. It's available on my website if you're interested. So until next time, guys, happy casting.